Hello students, today we are going to start a lecture series on linear algebra course of BSc third year. The course code of this title is Math 303TH. This is DSC, Discipline Specific Elective Course. So before discussing the definition of vector space and example related to it, we first write one important note. To distinguish the zero elements of V, vector space V. This is V is a vector, right? From the zero element, from the zero element, the zero element means zero. This is zero. From the zero element of field. Field we denote it by F. This field may be a real number. This may be set of rational number, or this may be complex number. The element of V, the zero element of V, we denote the zero element of V by 0V. This 0V represent the zero vector of V, vector V, and the zero element of field, that is real number or rational number or complex number. This we denote this by 0, simple 0. So it will help you to distinguish between the zero element of vector and zero element of field. We will use these notation in the whole series. So now we start our discussion on vector space. Let V be a non-empty set, or a non-empty set V is said to be vector space over field. So here I am taking R. We are taking the field of real numbers. So we can call a real vector space. Because if we take a field over real numbers, field of a set of real numbers, then we call this a real vector space. If we take a field of over C, complex number C, then we call a complex vector space. If there exists map plus, this is plus mean addition, from V cross V to V, defined by plus the element of V cross V are in the form of xy, right? X comma y, order pair x comma y. This goes to, how we can define plus? This goes to x plus y. X comma y under addition, the output is x plus y, called addition. called addition, and we denote multiplication. We denote it by dot, and this is defined R. R is, we take R field as a set of real numbers. So in place of F, we can write R. R cross V to V defined by multiplication. And what are the elements? We take one element from real number and one from vector. So in from real number, we can take scalars, let it be alpha, and from vector we can take xy. So we alpha comma x, this is in the order pair alpha comma x, and this goes to alpha into x, alpha dot x, called scalar multiplication. Scalar multiplication satisfy the following properties. Satisfies the following properties. What are those properties? Yes, I denote this, let it be V1. V1 is for all x, y belongs to V such that, so in place of writing such that, I use this bracket. This bracket represents such that x plus y is equal to y plus x. So we call this commutativity under addition. So we call this commutativity under addition. Now V2, you can also denote these properties by A1, A2, A for addition, A2 for addition as under second property under addition. So we can also denote vector space. This is first property of vector space, that is V1, V2. V2 is the second property. What is second property? For all x, y, z belongs to V such that x plus y plus z, this is equal to x plus y plus z. And we call this associativity. Not only associativity, associativity under addition. Operation is very important under addition. Mostly student call this that this is associative property, this is commutative property, but first one is commutativity under addition and second is associativity under addition. Third property, there exists, now this is very important, there exists 0v belongs to V. Now because from vector we can take the elements are vectors. So instead of writing simple 0, we can denote this by 0v. 0v means it's a vector, right? So 0v belongs to V such that for all x belongs to V such that x plus 0v, that is equal to x. So most of the books they write this is equal to 0v plus x is also, but we are not writing this because we have already defined in first property that they are commutative. If they are commutative, then x plus 0v is also equal to 0v plus x. So we don't repeat again and again the commutative property. So we only write x plus 0v equal to x or 0v plus x equal to x. Okay? So this is existence of additive identity, not identity, but is additive identity. So the quantifiers are very important. These are the quantifiers which are very important. So when we write the existence of additive identity, then you have to keep in mind the quantifiers. There exists, it means this zero vector work for every element of vector space. The unique, this we can also write this as there exists unique. This is a symbol for uniqueness. So we will discuss about the uniqueness later on. Now this zero element works for every element of the vector space, right? So if we interchange the quantifier, then the meaning of this property is also changed. If we interchange, then it depend upon the first one, right? So we will discuss about this in property number 4, V4. What is fourth property? Existence of additive inverse. So we can write for all x belongs to V, there exists y belongs to V such that x plus y that is equal to 0v. 0v means this belongs to vector, right? 0v is the element of vector. How we can define v cross v to v? So the element belongs to v. It means, and the elements of v are denoted by 0v. So x plus y equal to 0v. So there is no need to write this is equal to y plus x because they are commutative. It is already given in first property. So existence of additive inverse. Additive inverse. Or we can say that because in real number, if we take vector space as set of real number v equal to r, then we can say for all x belongs to v, there exists y. Y is minus x. So we can replace y by minus x. So we can say minus x is the additive inverse of x. So these are first 4 properties under addition. Now fifth property, we use these are the properties related to scalar multiplication. So now we are taking the element from field, because when we denote the multiplication, then one element, the domain is r cross v, one element from field and one from vector. The Cartesian product is in the order pair where first element belongs to field and second from vector space. So for all alpha belongs to R and for all x belongs to V, such that alpha into x plus y, alpha into x plus y, it dot represent the scalar multiplication. This dot represent because this element belongs to domain, and this is equal to alpha into x plus alpha into y. So this is the sixth. Even I can write x comma y belongs to v. X comma y belongs to v. V6 for all x belongs to V and for all alpha beta belongs to field. Field is set of real number. We denote the property is alpha plus beta dot x, that is equal to, this is alpha plus beta, the sum of two real number is again a real number. So when we multiply the scalar, when we take the scalar product with the vector x, then it become alpha dot x plus beta dot x. This seventh property is for all alpha beta belongs to real number R and x belongs to, for all x belongs to V, alpha beta into x, alpha beta into x is equal to alpha dot, sorry, alpha into beta dot x. So, and its properties 1 into x, that is equal to x. Here for all x belongs to V, even we can write for all x belongs to V such that 1 into x, or we can write there exists 1 belongs to R such that for all x belongs to V such that 1 into x is equal to x. So these are one belongs to field. One is the unit element of field. So one is the unit element of field, and field is real number. So one is the unit element of it. So these are the 8 properties for a non-empty set to become a vector space. If any vector, any non-empty set satisfies the 8 properties under addition and scalar multiplication, then it becomes a vector space. So here a question arise in your mind that why we are not defining closure property under addition and closure property under multiplication. So the answer is, if you define the addition, we have already defined how we can define the addition. If we define the addition and define the scalar multiplication, then there is no need to write the closure property under addition as well as closure property under multiplication. If the operation is not defined, then you have to define first how we can define addition, how we can define scalar multiplication. So that's why we are not considering closure property under addition and closure property under multiplication. Now we will discuss one example. This is example number 1 at page number 14 of the book. The set. Here we take set Vn f of all ordered n tuple of elements of a field F is a vector space over F with vector addition and scalar multiplication. Scalar multiplication defined as follows. Defined as follows. How we can define? The elements of V and F are, if X belongs to V and F, so all order n tuples of element of field F. So these are the elements. X belongs to B and F means X are of the type X is equal to X1, X2, X3, Xn. So these are n tuples element. If we have only two elements X1, X2, then it is two tuple. If we have three element X1, X2, X3, then it is three tuple. So we can write this as V3F. If we can write V4F, it means the elements are V1, V2, V3, V4. So it's called four tuple. So n tuple means we have n order pair of n elements, X1, X2, X3, Xn. So these are the elements of V and F. So if X is written in the form, then if Y belongs to V and F, then Y is equal to, yes, Y is Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4 and Yn. So in this way we can represent elements of vector space. And alpha belongs to, if so first we define addition, then plus X comma Y. First we define addition. How we can define addition? This will become X plus Y. Okay. So now how X plus Y is defined? So X plus Y is nothing but this is X is X1, X2, Xn plus Y1, Y2, Yn, and sum is defined. The first element is added with first element X1 plus Y1, second with second X2 plus Y2, and similarly Xn plus Yn. So in this way we can define sum. So we can define, so this is the symbol dot and equal to represent how we can define sum. So operation under addition is defined. So now second, if alpha belongs to field, then how we can define scalar multiplication? Alpha dot x. Alpha dot x is defined as alpha into x is x1, x2, xn, and this is equal to alpha x1 alpha x2 alpha xn. So in this way we can define alpha into x. So this is, we have defined addition operation as well as scalar multiplication. Now we have to check whether it is a vector space or not. So What is our first property V1? For all xy belongs to Vn vector space over the field F. Here we can take any field. It is general. You can also take real number, rational number, or field of complex number. So V and F, x belongs to x comma y belongs to this. What we have to check such that x plus y is equal to x plus y. So such that x plus y is equal to y plus x. So what is x? X is x1, x2, xn plus what is y? y1, y2, yn. How we can add this? Because it is already defined. This we have already defined how we can define the sum. This is x1 plus y1 first element with first element x2 plus y2 and xn plus yn. If we take field over real number R, field is equal to set of real number. And we know that in real number, sum of two real number x plus y is equal to y plus x. So we can write x1 plus y1 is also equal to y1 plus x1. Now because x1 plus y1, if we take v is also equal to R. If we take vector space is also set of real number. So we know that x1 plus y1, they are real numbers. And sum of real number is again a real number. So x1 plus y1 is same as y1 plus x1 because in real number, they satisfy the commutative property. Right? So x1 plus y1 can be written as y1 plus x1. We can write y2 plus x2. This we can write yn plus xn. Because in real number, they satisfy this condition. So this is, we can separate this with y1, y2, yn plus x1, x2, xn. And this is nothing, but this is y plus, and this is x. So x plus y is equal to y plus x. So we can write for all x, y belongs to V and F, vector space of n dimension over the field F, such that x plus y is equal to y plus x. So closure property as commutative property satisfied. Now V2 for all x, y, z belongs to V and F. X plus y such that x plus y plus z is equal to x plus y plus z. So I skip this part. In the similar way, you can find this. You try to find the second property. V3. Third property is there exists 0v belongs to V and F, n tuple. So this 0v can be written as an n tuple as 0, 0, 0, 0 n time, such that for all X belongs to V and F, X plus 0V is equal to X. This we have to prove. This we have to prove. So 0V is n tuple of 0 element, 0, 0, 0 up to n time, right? And X is equal to X1, X2, Xn. Now this 0 belongs to field. This 0V belongs to vector. Now when we add X plus 0V, now you can see that this become X1, X2, Xn plus 0, 0. And this is X1 plus 0, X2 plus 0, Xn plus 0. Now what you observe here, X1 is this is a vector, this is a real number, 0 is a real number, it belongs to field, and sum of two real number is again a real number, so we can write this X1 plus 0 because 0 is the additive identity of real numbers. X1 plus 0 is again X1, X2 plus 0 is again X2 because 0 is the additive identity. So this is nothing but this is 0, X. So X plus 0, so V is equal to X. Now the fourth property V4 is, what is the fourth property? We can take for all X belongs to vector, there exists Y belongs to vector such that X plus Y is equal to 0. Now X plus Y, we have already defined how we can find X plus Y. This is X1 plus Y1, X2 plus Y2, and this is equal to 0. This is equal to 0V. So we can take X1 plus Y1, X2 plus Y2, Xn plus Yn is equal to 0, 0, 0 because element of 0V, it belongs to vector. So it is in the form of 0, 0, 0. It's n tuple 0. Now two vectors are equal. Now two vectors are equal. Two vectors are equal. That is X1, X2, Xn is equal to Y1, Y2, Yn. If and only if X1 is equal to Y1, X2 is equal to Y2, and Xn is equal to Yn. So in general, we can say that is Xi equal to Yi for all I lies between, for all I lies between 1 to 1. Right? So we will use the same definition. Now two vectors, these are vectors, they are equal if and only if X1 plus Y1 equal to 0, X2 plus y2 equal to 0, x3 plus y3 equal to 0, and xn plus yn equal to 0. And they are real numbers. X1 plus y1 equal to 0, they are real number. And in real number, we know that y1 is equal to, minus x1. They are also real numbers, so we can say y2 is equal to minus x2. In the same way, we can find yn equal to minus xn. So in general, what we can find that xi plus yi, this is equal to 0 for all I lies between 1 to n. And your yi is equal to minus xi. So if yi is equal to minus xi, तो हमने क्या बोला था कि y जो है वो इसका एडिटिव इनवर्स है. तो इसका मतलब एडिटिव इनवर्स क्या होगा? Therefore, the additive inverse of x1, yeah, x is equal to x1, x2, xn is y is equal to minus xi, right? So right, we can write y is equal to y1, y2, yn, and y is nothing but this is equal to minus x, because for all y, that is equal to y is equal to minus x for all I minus lies between 1 to n. So we can write this is minus x1, or instead of writing minus x, we can write, because y1 is equal to minus x1, y2 is equal to minus x2, yn equal to minus xn. So we can take minus common. It is x1, x2, xn, and this is nothing but minus x. So additive inverse of x is minus x. So in general, we can write the additive inverse of x is minus x. That's why if we add x with minus x, then we get 0 vector. So this is very important. But how we can find this? The logic, the basic behind this is that the property of real numbers. By the property of real number, we are able to find the additive inverse. Now, fifth property is, for any xy in vector, and alpha in field, so we have to check alpha into x plus y is equal to alpha into x plus alpha into y. So we write alpha into, what is x plus y? We have already defined x1 plus y1, x2 plus y2, xn plus yn. Now, how we can define the scalar product? This is this. We have defined alpha into x, that is alpha into x1, alpha into x2, alpha into x3, and alpha into xn. So in this way we can, because it is already defined. That's why we are not defining the closure property. So this is alpha into x1 plus y1 and similarly alpha into xn plus yn. So alpha into x1 plus y1, this is nothing but alpha dot x1 plus alpha dot y1. Even there is no need to write dot because this is the operation. So we can write directly alpha dot alpha into x1 plus alpha into y1. And similarly alpha into xn plus alpha yn. Now we can separate this alpha x1 because we know that how we can define the sum x1 plus y1 plus x comma x2 plus y2 plus comma xn plus yn. This is x1 comma x2 comma xn plus y1 comma y2 comma yn. So similarly we can define alpha xn plus alpha y1 alpha yn. So this is, we can take alpha common because we have already defined this. ये हमने define किया हुआ है. इसको कैसे define किया? alpha x1 x2 xn. और यहां से भी अल्फा कॉमन ले सकते हैं हम. We can write y1 y2 yn. So this is nothing but alpha. You can write alpha dot this. So alpha dot x plus alpha into. So in this way we are able to prove this, that alpha dot x plus y is alpha dot x plus alpha dot. Now V6. What is 6 property? For all alpha beta belongs to field given any and x belongs to vector space, we have to show that alpha plus beta dot, this is the operation x, that is alpha x plus beta x. So you have to prove this. You can take alpha plus beta, this is scalar. x को आप लिखोगे x1 x2 xn. अल्फा प्लस बीटा और वेक्टर का ऑलरेडी हमने स्केलर प्रोडक्ट दिखाया कैसे डिफाइन किया हुआ है. यू कैन डिफाइन द ऑपरेशन and simplify this, you get this. So you try to prove B6. 6. Now 7th, alpha, we have to prove that for all alpha beta belongs to field and x belongs to vector. Alpha beta into x, that is alpha beta, alpha into beta x. So we can write alpha beta, and what is x dot, this is x1 x2 xn. So this is, now we can define the scalar product. So it is alpha beta into x1 alpha beta into x2 and alpha beta into xn. Now, because they are scalars, they are real numbers. Now we are dealing with the real elements, and we know that in real number a into b into c, that is they satisfy the associative property under multiplication. So we by using the associative property under multiplication, we can write this as alpha into beta x1. Second, alpha into beta x2, and alpha into beta xn. So now we can take alpha common. So we can write this is alpha dot, or we can, instead of dot, we can write alpha into, this is nothing but beta x. You can write beta of s, right? We can write beta, we can take beta common, beta x1 and beta xn. Beta x xn. So again we can take beta common, and this is x1, x2, xn. So this is nothing but alpha into beta x. So in this way we can prove seventh property. Now eighth property is 1 into x, that is 1 into x is x1, x2, this is xn, and by scalar, how we can define scalar product? 1 into x1, 1 into x2, 1 into xn, and this is 1 into x1, this is again x1, x2, and similarly this is xn, and this is again equal to x. So therefore, hence, because it satisfies all the 8 properties, hence BNF is a vector space over field F. So in this way, we are able to define a vector space. In the next video lecture, we will discuss more topic related to vector space. Thank you.